And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that short break as we have returned with the final series of Group A of the CommJumity League Group Stage Day number 1. It all comes down to this. We had Geralt rise and advance on in first place. We had a Baby Marine fall and be eliminated first as well. And now it comes down to this. There's only enough room in the playoffs for one player. One player between these two, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. In the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione, we have our Swedish Zerg player, the Yellow Zerg, representing Team Brody. It is Fjant. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Protoss fan himself. Usually Terran, but off racing here, picking the Protoss as his main race. From the land of the Netherlands, representing Offside Esports, it is uThermal. And I'll get his name going. Un momento, papi, un momento. Here we go. And if you're in the chats, then predictions are now open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will advance on in second place in Group A. Who will join Geralt in the playoffs? Will it be our Zerg player or will it be our race picker? As a reminder, uThermal did not roll Protoss. Sorry, he did not roll random, is what I meant to say. He did roll Protoss. He picked his race at the start of the game. And I believe it is uThermal's intention to play each map as a different race. I believe that is his intention here. So game 2, he won't be picking Protoss again. He'll most likely be picking Zerg or Terran. For now, we're settling in. Gate expand here out of uThermal. Meanwhile, Fjant going for a hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of both players. Well, we're calming things down. And again, predictions open. Place your bets, Pipey. Place your bets on who you think is going to make it through. Best of luck. Best of luck. Meanwhile, we are settling in. We're going to be calming things down. I should also, hold on. I should also fix up the alias for uThermal. I should have done that a long time ago. uThermal. Player nickname, Protoss fan. Beautiful. Okay. Here we go. Now, when it comes to uThermal, he usually has very specialized and very specific builds for his off-racing. What I'm referring to, for example, his PvZ, we have seen... No, sorry, no, it's PvZ. His ZVP, we have seen uThermal go for the lair into a Ling drop into 2-base Hydra. He does that time and time again, for example. Here with his Protoss, I'm not too familiar. I can't quite recall. It's been a couple of months since I've last casted uThermal's Protoss, so I don't remember what he relies upon, whether he goes into Glaives, into a standard opener, into Void Rays, into DTs. I'm a little bit unfamiliar, so hey, if you happen to be a little bit more in the know as to the tendencies of Mark of uThermal, then let us know. Give us some insight, Papi. Give us some insight. As I don't recall. Like, even when uThermal was playing random, even when we were casting him, I don't remember the last time he played against a Zerg player as Protoss. As adepts, they do shade into the main. So far, we do keep up, and we do shut down the first adept. Nice pick off here out of Fjant. Gets one adept, now only one left. And we're going to be able to start a step forward and focus it down. Oh, so it does manage to slip away. Adept does slip away. Behind this is going to be a standard Stargate opener out of uThermal. Everything looking as it should for the time being. Is going to be that Stargate, and this can lead into... Oh, never mind. I was going to say this can lead into an Oracle or a Void Ray, but do you see what I see? I see a Twilight Council before the third base is done, and before the Stargate is even done. This looks like Glaives. This could be one of two things. It could be either fast Glaives for a Glaive Adept timing, or we could be working towards something different. Interesting. Forge is on the way. This should no longer be Glaives. This is a... Yeah, this is an interesting build. Wait, was this third base first? Harshim, is that you? Sorry, my apologies. I believe this was a third Nexus before Stargate, which is why the first Oracle isn't even done yet. Meanwhile, the Nexus is complete. uThermal used to be very fond of this. uThermal used to be very fond of this opener. This was last year, DreamHack Yongshipping, if I remember correctly. Was then when uThermal was really flexing this opener. This was, I guess, last year, July-ish, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, really greedy. really greedy stuff here. A very fast third base into a Void Ray into +1 Blink. We do have a Gateway Explosion getting up to 4 gateways. So uThermal getting away with quite a bit here, and we'll have a boosted economy as a result. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they get across the map, and we are looking for some economic damage, but the Queens are able to keep up, and the Oracle takes a lot of hits. The Oracle does take a lot of damage. Gonna be recalling back home. Overlord gets shut down, and do you see what I see? Overlord's speed on the way, Lair in production as well. I'm curious if this is the beginnings of a German taxi. I know Fjant is from Sweden, but he was spending time in Germany for Home Story Cup, so Fjant is looking to spice things up here. We have Roaches in production, Queens are amassing, Overlord's speed halfway done, Lair is about to finish up as well. Show us the Dropper Lords. Yeah, you can see the Overlords there coming together here with the Queens. There it is! The Dropper Lords are on the way. The German taxi has arrived. Send it, papi. And for the time being, uThermal's in the dark. uThermal doesn't know. He's expanding, taking a 4th base. uThermal being active on the map. Still only with 4 gates. Still with not really much to work with. I'm concerned. uThermal, he's going to get caught out. As it's all or nothing, it is a 3 base all in, or really like 2.5 base all in. As we don't have full saturation at the 3rd. But we are moving out. Stalkers get caught. Oracles do get eyes on the army, but does it matter? Do we have anything to defend? There's only 1 shield battery. We're woefully underprepared. We are heavily underprepared. Cannon goes down. Robe is exposed. The Queens have arrived. Lings are here to support. We do focus on the first Overlord. First Overlord does go down. Overcharge is popped. And do we have enough, as we do have the second Overlord arriving? Yeah, we can focus down the Oracle. The Oracle falls. We can spread creep. We can transfuse. Can we, though? The creep a little bit out of position. And it looks like uThermal, he's holding on. He's holding his own just barely. We need reinforcements. We need more Lings. As we try to camp the production, creep is spreading. Well, we need transfuse. We need it. Oh, we do miss it. No transfuse. Well, delayed transfuse here out of Fjant. And we do see the army barely being forced back. Lings are arriving just barely. Yeah, Vials, they shut down the Robo. No more Immortals. Boys are being pulled, and it looks like Fjant, he's done it. Looks like he has broken through. That 1 Immortal has done so much here for uThermal. Has done a lot. But alas, I'm not too sure if it's going to be enough. It's getting close, though. Roaches are falling. Again, the Probe's doing such a great job here at just tanking for the Immortal. But the Immortal is so close to being targeted. Oof. As uThermal is cutting back, he does bleed out 40 probes. He was far too greedy. Far too economic. Oof, the Immortal does get picked off. And now we can go for the 3rd base itself. We're still making probes? He's making 4 probes at a time. He's crazy. Ay, ay, ay. Things, they shut down the workers. Again, we have control of the 3rd base. We can still just rally across the map, making 7 more Roaches. Blinks are nice. Oof. Again, solid Blinks here from uThermal, pulling back to the 4th. And it looks like we're going to be able to shut this down. Oh my god. Clutch transfuse. But uThermal, he's going to be able to hold on. Again, we're just lacking reinforcements. We're lacking Lings. Just barely didn't have enough. You can see Fjant, he's banking 1,000 minerals. He was opting to make Roaches and not Lings, so that's why his reinforcements were delayed. We're just banking on minerals instead. 3rd base is repowered. Fjant, can he barely break through? Shield batteries, they're back up and running. Okay, just a really close hold here. But finally, with these Ling reinforcements, now we can close the distance. Now we can finally get on top of the Stalkers themselves. And get on top of the mineral line. It was an impressive hold here from uThermal. Like, impressive that he was able to survive, like, up until this point and get away with so much greed. Like, even now, another 17, another 18 probes falling. How many workers died this game? 71! 72 probes. uThermal, he's just been making probes the entire time. GG gets called, and Fjant takes game number 1. GG. uThermal was insanely greedy here. Again, he had a fully saturated 4th base when the all-in arrived, which is why he could afford to lose workers. And he was just non-stop producing probes throughout that entire defense as well. He lost 72 probes towards the end of that game. And he still had like decent saturation, which is crazy. Still had like another 40 workers mining. Ay, ay, ay. uThermal, look after your workers, man. Look after your boys. I'll just replace them, Pop. You're so good. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. With that, Fjant does take a lead. In the series, was able to punish the greed of uThermal just barely. Fjant was tunnel visioning a little bit too much there, and again, he wasn't quite reinforcing and missing injects, which is why he had over 1,000 minerals banked up, but regardless, he was still able to break through nonetheless. And Fjant takes a lead 1 game away from advancing on. 1 game away from coming out 2nd place here in Group A. Meanwhile, the pressure is now on uThermal. And I mentioned before that uThermal, he is race picking in this series, and so far he's been picking 1 race for each map. So game 1 was Protoss, game 2 looks to be Terran. I do appreciate this. Terran is uThermal's strongest race, and I do think that if uThermal did pick Zerg here, then it would go in favor of Fjant. But with uThermal picking Terran, there's a good chance, a good opportunity for uThermal to force the ace match. And then he's going to be forced to play Zerg if the trend continues. I'm curious if uThermal will pick Terran here and then stick with Terran. That's what I'm curious about. I know how his workers feels. Ah, Smurge. Smurge, man. As game 2 is going to be on Site Delta. Site Delta is coming up next. And as a reminder, after this series, after this group, we have Group B. Group B right around the corner. It is right around the corner here. So we gotta keep going, Pop. You gotta keep going. Let's go. You can hear the beeps. We have our lobby. We have our players. We have our casters. We're getting it. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our Swedish Zerg player. Our yellow Zerg representing Team Brody, leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from advancing on out of Group A. It is Fjant. I'll fix the play. There we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player representing Offside Esports, and the pressure is on. He has to fight back here and now to force that ace match, picking his main race as Terran. It is uThermal. Here we go. Again, after what happened in game 1, he's forced to whip out his final form here in game 2. Forced to whip out the Terran, Bappy. And we'll see if it's going to be enough. As it's going to be 2x Opener. Okay, so it's going to be 2x Reaper here out of uThermal. We spoke about this earlier, but 2x Reaper is quite an aggressive opener. It does allow us to apply pressure to maintain control across the map. The goal here is to deny the third. Deny the third base and contain the Zerg player for as long as we can while we expand behind this and get into our 3CC setup. I'm making some assumptions. There are different variations of this. We could throw down a third Vax and go 3-Vax Reaper. We could lead into an expansion into a 2-1-1, into a 3CC 2-1-1, into even like some Banshee follow-up as well, like hidden Banshee play, which Beyond was quite fond of, and Maru as well. So there are different facets here of 2-Vax Reaper. Different follow-ups that you can embrace. For now, we have our Reapers on the way. Reapers are on the way. Our initial 2, soon to be into 3. Meanwhile, across the map, Fjant going for his own opener as well. Oh, did go for a bit of a 15-15. So a bit of a safer build here out of Fjant. As Lings, they do move out towards the south, and the Reaper does dip in. Now with this opener of Fjant, he's going to have his queens pop out just in time for the Reaper. It's close. Well, one more second. And the queen has arrived. We do zone the Reaper away, and the first two pair of Lings are able to move out across the map, but already we're walled up. We're fully walled up. We're safe and sound. Lings have been found, and Fjant is contained. Ooh, as we already get one Ling. And a drone. Yeah, I was curious what that was. It was a drone going down. We get into the mineral line. Can we get another? We can. Two drones fall. Ooh, this is becoming a bit too much. Two workers go down. And can we get a third? We can. 3 drone kills as we did not have enough money for a spore crawler. A 4th drone goes down as well. We do punish this a little bit by catching a Reaper, but this is worth it. We didn't just deny the 3rd base. We have killed 4 workers across the map, and we can still contain. As we have our 3 Reapers, and we're making another pair of Reapers. This is not often seen. As any damage that you can accomplish with 3 Reapers, you can do the same with 5. But we're getting up to 6, soon to be 7 and 8. We're not stopping. We're we're no. All right, sorry, my apologies. I missed the 3rd Rax. It is going to be 3 Rax Reaper here from uThermal, getting into a 3rd CC. Sorry, I was distracted by the damage that was being done in the main. Now, because we committed a little bit harder, we have to kill queens. We have to do more than just containing. We're trading against the Lings. Again, I don't think we needed to double down and go up to triple Reapers or 3 Rax Reaper, but we're committed. Are committed here. Meanwhile, Roach Warren's on the way. Thermal is amassing his Reapers. Now, eventually, he's going to transition out of this, but we do have additional Raxes on the way. Are we just going plus? Yeah, we're going Mass Reaper. It's just Mass Reaper. We've seen this from uThermal before. Mass Reaper with +1 attack. He's going to get surrounded. He's going to get shut down. A brutal position here for uThermal. There's no way out of this. We get trapped. And we will break out eventually, but how much did that cost us? That cost us 6 Reapers. And again, ideally this has to snowball out of control. If we're going Mass Reaper like this, we can't afford these losses. So very nicely done here by Fjant. Does shut uThermal down. Meanwhile, Roaches are amassing. Lings are on the way as well. And the scary thing about Ling Ravager here is that if we can lock down these Reapers, we can pile them the hell down. If we do overextend, massive pickles. We get 1, we get 2. Can we get 3? Not quite, but 2 Ravagers fall. Big overextension by Fjant. Yeah, uThermal's still in this. Shaving off more Lings. Fjant, he's going for his own all-in. We're completely all-in. Meanwhile, uThermal's expanding. Thermal's taking a 3rd. It's all or nothing for Fjant, and if Fjant doesn't get this around, I'm not too sure if he can really pull this off. Making his way towards the natural. KDA charge is buying a lot of time. Solid kiting here against the Lings. Oh, the Wiles! Ooh, won't quite connect. Yeah, and I'm not too sure that Fjant has enough here. Yeah, Reapers, they collapse on top of the Ravagers. They focus one down. There's only 3 Ravagers left, and Fjant is getting picked apart. Yeah, it's just too much. We shut down the Lings. We shut down the Ravagers. It looks like Fjant was hoping that maybe uThermal was going to transition out of Reaper. But with pure Reaper, we can just have our way with this. Yeah, every Ravager will fall, and it looks like we are forcing the ace match. We are looking to force that ace match. Fjant just has nothing left. We have a handful of Lings. We barely have an economy. We're on essentially 1.5 bases. 1.5 base economy here for Fjant. The Mass Reaper. We're doing it, Papi. We have 5 more Raxes on the way. Taking a 3rd. And again, there's just not much that Fjant can do here. I do think that uThermal could have been a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more assertive. Lings, they come in for a surround. But Reapers, they can break free. They don't care about your surrounds, Papi. They catch a queen. They get a 2nd queen. Oh, barely not. Only the 1 queen. Let's go. Behind this, making 5 Reapers at a time, soon to be 10 Reapers at a time. Third base getting up and running. And even though part of me would be like, you know, we can just like start up a tech lab and some reactors and work towards STEM, even though that's true, like, Mass Reaper here is enough. Like, we can still pull this off. Oh! Oof. Massive pile though, oh my god! Fjant, calm down. We do punish uThermal. Does get punished for a moment, but there aren't enough links to lock this down. Yeah, just not enough links here for Fjant. We are going for a counterattack though. Lings, they do make their way towards the mineral line. Reapers are in position to defend. Yeah, we have enough Reapers. Yeah, we're gonna shut down these Lings. Now, Fjant does buy some breathing room to expand and take a third. If we can hold on to this third base, if we can somehow get up to 3-base saturation, then Fjant does have a chance. But, oh god, there's still so many Reapers. 26 Reapers. Yeah, this third base, it's not gonna get up and running. It's not gonna happen. No shot. Unless uThermal takes some massive vials to the face, well, then counterattack does get in. But at least we get some amazing vials. Yeah, the vials here. They're not gonna connect. We focus them down. GG gets called, and uThermal will tie up the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. Let's go. GG, well played. uThermal does tie things up here. Again, uThermal just got so much momentum early on, and Fjant decided to go for the all-in. Again, I'm pretty sure Fjant believed that it was going to be a longer game. What I mean by that is, I'm pretty sure he believed that uThermal was going to initially go Mass Reaper and then get out of it and go into Marine. If that was the case, then I did like Fjant's choice, but against Mass Reaper like that, we saw that he was just picked apart. As he was trying to move out across the map with the all-in, his Lings were being shaved off, his Ravagers as well. He just couldn't really maintain himself, and he was bleeding off too many units as he got across the map, and the all-in, when it arrived, it was barely an all-in. Like, he couldn't really threaten the bases of uThermal whatsoever. uThermal, he was safe and sound and just kind of dancing around the army. And with that, uThermal ties us up. We're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Let's go. Here we go. And the final game is going to take place on Ghost River. Now, I'm curious, is uThermal going to pick Terran again, or does he embrace Zerg? It's going to be one or the other. I mentioned before the uThermal, so far, he has been picking a different race for each game, for each map in a series. And he's already played Protoss, he's already played Terran. So it's got to be Zerg here, unless uThermal, if he has a little bit too much fear for Fjant, does he pick Terran again? That's the question. That is the question. Does he break his rule, or does he embrace it? What do you have for us? Where are we dropping, Papi? Where are we dropping? And there it is! He commits! I respect that. I respect it quite a bit here. So I mentioned before that uThermal has been playing a different race every single map, and that is the case here. So he forced the ace match with Terran, which made sense. But we do have Zerg as the final pick. So game 1 was Protoss, game 2 was Terran, and game 3 is Zerg. Okay. Bold move here, uThermal. Does the gamble pay off? Does it pay off? That is the question. Can he out Zerg Fjant? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Swedish Zerg player, the yellow Zerg, representing Team Roddy, being forced into the ace match. It is Fjant. I see ForJumy. ForJumy's also got... No way. Ain't no shot. Spawning in the right-hand corner, going for a 15-15. We have the blue Zerg player now, as he has been playing a different race every single game, and he has committed to it. From the land of the Netherlands, representing Offside Esports, it is uThermal. I was about to issue a posture check. Oh, okay, we're good. Posture check in the chat. No slouching, no slouching. Okay, Papi, I got you. Hold on. Oh, God. Alright, we're good. We're good to go. But yeah, for now, it's going to be 15 hatch into the 15 spawning pool. Likewise, we have the same mirrored build here from uThermal. It is considered a little bit unsafe to go for a hatch gas pool on this map just because of the short rush distance by ground. Aggression gets across the map very quickly, and you could just straight up die to a 12 pool. Both players are aware, and both players do respect each other with a safe opener. Very safe build here from both players. Does give us earlier queens, earlier lings. It does delay gas, unfortunately. Gas mining is going to be delayed here for Fjant and uThermal, but that is applicable to both players. And I'm curious, as Fjant opening up gasless. Bold move. Bold move here by Fjant. 0 gases. Now, what does this mean? This means that most likely Fjant is going to be walling up. He's going to be walling off here on 2 bases and getting into roach play. Doesn't have to be roaches, but we should be seeing a roach one and an evo chamber walling up on 2 bases, and this could be 2 base roach, could be 2 base muta, could be a 2 base all in, could just be 2 base roach into a later third instead, but 2 base play nonetheless from Fjant. Meanwhile, uThermal with link speed has the option to be aggressive, or with the gas income has the option to be a little bit more aggressive. He should be the first to take a 3rd base, but we'll see. We'll see what uThermal dictates and what he decides. Shall see. As our initial links have arrived, uThermal, what do we do with the gas? We're going for a lair. We're rushing into a lair. And Fjant, do we confirm? We do. Lings, they dive into the main base. We get eyes on the tech of choice. We skip link speed, and uThermal is rushing into that lair. With this lair, we could be rushing into roach speed. We could be rushing into 2 base muta. We have options here for uThermal. Meanwhile, Fjant is taking gases for the first time in this game, and still on his own 2 base setup. So 2 base versus 2 base. But 2 bases in very different ways, right? Like, again, uThermal is going to be a little bit more tech heavy, a little more with that tech advantage. Fjant was greedier and has better economy as a result. There's that Roach Warren on the way for Fjant, likewise Roach Warren on the way for uThermal. +1 range does tell us that this is going to be a commitment into roaches, that we should not be going for the Spire. Unless we do something crazy and cancel. True, if we cancel the upgrade, then sure, but we're still on 2 gases. As Fjant has taken all 4. Now, because of fast lair, this does mean that uThermal can rush into roach speed, and this is a very strong timing. With roach speed and +1 range, we're going to hit like a truck here. And I'm sure uThermal wants to go for and commit into that roach all in, or that roach timing. Meanwhile, Fjant is going to be the defender. He still doesn't have his lair. Lair is still on the way. He's been droning the entire time. Again, Fjant has been greedier here by establishing all of his gases and droning up as hard as he is. +1 range is on the way. Fjant initially is going to be the defender, and we'll see if he can defend. Now, the Lings do confirm that the Roach Warren was researching, so we can assume it is going to be a commitment into roaches. The reality is that it could be muta play. It could still be mutas, like this could be a fake out and then we cancel the upgrade. I mean, I say it could still be. It isn't from uThermal, but in Fjant's mind, it could be. So, doesn't have full confirmation of what is going on. Roaches are revealed, nicely done here by Fjant. So he can assume that, okay, it's going to be roaches, and he can make his own. As he sees that uThermal has been producing roaches, and we are moving out. Now, as uThermal moves out, the Overlord does confirm this, and uThermal is taking a base, and he is taking extra gases. So it looks like uThermal, he's just feigning a push. Moves out across the map. uThermal should be droning behind this, but he hasn't. There we go. He should be droning up, and he is. So again, this is kind of like a fake out from uThermal. He's trying to force an overreaction, and he's doing so. Fjant still hasn't taken a 3rd. Now he takes a 3rd base, but it's quite a delayed 3rd here for Fjant. Oh, can we force a cancel? We can! We do force a cancel here. Fjant thankfully able to cancel. It wasn't a kill. Fjant is keeping up. Back at home, we do see a big advantage here when it comes to 3rd base timing, and we are not going for that +1 timing. We're going for +2. There's going to be a big moment here where we have 2-1 here for uThermal, and Fjant only has +1. So we do have a very large upgrade advantage here that we're going to be making use of. Until then, uThermal's joining up. Fjant, instead of doubling down on upgrades, we're going for a Spire. Okay. So it's going to be muta tech here from Fjant. Bold move. Overseer comes in to confirm what's going on. And the Overlord did get eyes on both Evo chambers on the researching. So Fjant is aware. Fjant's moving out across the map. Fjant is running up behind this. Bear that in mind. So once again, Fjant is posturing. Like, when it comes to ZvZ, there's a lot of this. There's a lot of posturing. There's a lot of fake outs. There's a lot of trying to force over commitments and force over reactions. uThermal is droning, attempting to get the bases saturated. The scary thing in ZvZ is like poking the bear. Like, if you fake aggression too much, then suddenly your opponent made a massive army and they move out across the map and you die because you droned up, right? Like, there's there's a fine line you have to walk in ZvZ when it comes to, you know, not over droning but not under committing either. Not under droning. Is that sweet spot. Meanwhile, the Spire does get up and running, and this is where I have to be a little bit critical of uThermal. We should have seen an Overseer Scout. We saw the Overseer Scout earlier, and Fjant, he even goes back in. Fjant, he sees everything. uThermal sees nothing, and he could. This Overlord here should be an Overseer, and we should go into the main base to scout, and we haven't. Like, uThermal had the opportunity, and he hasn't done so. That is a big oversight for uThermal. It may not matter he is pushing in, but the Mutas have arrived and they can focus down the Ravagers. They can and they will. Ravagers are being focused down. uThermal pushing in. The Bile's going to be zoning back the army. Some Biles will connect, but uThermal is going to lose the entire force here. He has to get into the mineral line. He has to get some economic damage done. Biles, oh, not quite connecting. Pushing towards the natural. And the Mutas, okay, they don't chase the Mutas, they go across the map, they hunt down Overlords. And we will manage to get some economic damage done. 6 drones go down, not bad. 6 workers do fall. Roach is catching reinforcements. Likewise, rallying towards the 3rd base. 10 drones fall. uThermal does have a worker lead, but the Mutas, they get into the 3rd. They bust into the mineral line, drones are going down. And uThermal, he's committed. He has to keep pushing. He has to get more damage done, but alas, he can't. Because Fjant, he's making roaches. He's messing up roaches. Takes the defensive stance here on top of the high ground. Has the better concave, and uThermal has to retreat. And the Mutas, they're getting even more damage to the natural. There's still 2 queens. We can hold the line. uThermal rotating over. The boys have been pulled? Faffy, you're not a Terran, but the boys are here. They've been pulled. They try to break through. Biles will connect. We have a transfuse. Oh, not quite able to land it, but alas, Fjant, he's holding, he's shutting down the aggression. Mutas are still wreaking havoc. GG gets called, and Fjant takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the playoffs. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Fjant for claiming the series and advancing on. And a shout out to uThermal because honestly, his ZvZ didn't look too bad. That was a pretty good ZvZ out of uThermal. There were a couple of big slip-ups. I mean, the biggest slip-up was the lack of scouting, was the lack of Overseer Scout, period. There was 0 Overseer scouting from uThermal. Fjant even double scouted with Overseers just to make sure. Just because a big factor in ZvZ, it isn't just checking for a Spire, it's checking for saturation, checking for gases, checking for a Hydroden as well. Like, there are different things that can occur here in ZvZ, and scouting is a big part of that, and unfortunately we didn't really see that out of uThermal. Outside of that, he played quite well. Like, he was, you know, able to feign aggression, get into his build, work towards his upgrade timing as well. Like, didn't look too poorly there in the ZvZ, just was blindsided by the Mutas and forced to commit because of that. And with that, Fjant will take the series. Congratulations. And with that, hold on. There we go. Congratulations. And with that, Fjant will advance on into the playoffs. My condolences to uThermal as he is going to be eliminated from the tournament. And we're getting ready for our next series. We're getting ready for Group B